Yeah, I can say this.
Can't stand one a lot of them.
Yes, that's what I know.
Right, right. So it's got all those nice.
Then third,
Has any, planning? We're gonna table that, you build that.
okay,
Yeah, now.
okay.
Anybody have any comments on the electric vehicle? Tina?
LBR 39 Brother Down. I'm just curious where the, will be or have the people who live directly in that area been, informed?
Yeah, they were notified about a month ago.
And you can only park there if you are an EV and you're charging?
Yes.
So if you're not charging, you can't park there.
This is correct.
Until after 8 o'clock,
From 8 to
8 p.m. till 8.
And anybody can park.
Anybody can park.
regular parking.
That was kind of our way to mitigate some any concern. Yeah, that.
And I'm sorry, again, is this primarily for villagers who can't put the plugging? The power source in, or is this for people on the zips?
So the intent is mostly the first, but somewhat the second. So there's folks that rent, there's folks that don't have parking spaces on their property that might be interested in getting EVs. And so this would allow them to charge. And then the intent is to have 2 different rates, which you can accomplish. So there would be a resident rate, which would be that cost. Then a higher rate for folks that wanted to use it that were on a citizen. Or MBOs or what have you, just entering a village or other village events like the markets, antique festival. So the majority tends the first part, but we'll have you completed.
And are these the, I don't know a lot about it, but I know there's like the level that takes all night, there's the mid-level, and then there's the high level. Will this be mid, high, or?
Level 2.
Mid.
So level 2, yeah, so it'll charge a car fully in approximately like 6 to 8 hours. So a level 1 charger would take 8 hours, and a level 3 charger might take as little as a half an hour and 45 minutes.
Can I follow up on that? So the money that's being taken in for this will go directly to the village? We make money off of this?
So the intent is that we'll figure out a rate that will be at cost for village residents, so we'll get a. So the intent is for whatever that kilowatt hour charge is to offset village residents, and then to put a little on the top for folks on Simpson, so yes, that would go to the village.
We have, because I don't know, actually, I think it's just a great, I know that we're parlaying in some, not a great idea. I think that, I mean, the fact that we're losing some parking space in that area, kind of like, affecting from these residents, but I know you guys are actually big city. To let the, my daughter comes in from New York City and she has to go to Malta to plug her car.
Yeah,
Okay, do they have an app that shows those people are coming down the Northway and say, are we going to be a location where they could say, I don't have to go all the way, I'm in this area right here, it's a lot closer.
it'll be on the charge point, it's charge point, so anybody that uses the charge point app would be able to locate and then also see if that thing was, if the charging station was free.
Great.
Yeah, and that was one of the other things that we noticed too is. Round Lake's sort of in like a little bit of a charging station desert, there's nothing like. Until you go 2 to 3 miles north of us and nothing 2 to 3 miles south of us. Which makes it a challenge if a village resident wanted to go, for instance, charge their EV right now, they'd have to go to the Price Chopper in Malta or down in Clifton Park and wait. So this would be walking distance.
Sounds like a great place to put a vending machine.
You're adding spaces?
We are, so correct me if I'm wrong, but we're planning on the spaces that are currently like to the left of the charging stations and go past the basketball courts. We're gonna stripe those so that they're basically. I don't think we're gonna be increasing the area necessarily, but we'll be increasing the efficiency of the parking in that.
You're
in those
defining
other spaces, defining it so people will go.
We purchased a striping machine, so the village group can do that now without having to try to find somebody to do it. Pay for it.
Once the lines are striped, the overall feeling is that you'll be able to park an additional car or possibly two. Because they kind of get parked all kind of cattywampus right now.
And as it is, those spaces are rarely if ever full, so I think.
There any impact to the, and I know it's unofficial, the Sunflower Garden, is there any impact to the Sunflower Garden staff?
I don't know.
Thank you for asking that.
To come back to your question around like the making money thing too, I don't see it being a terrific like money maker for the village. But we would probably get some
Yeah.
Yeah. We won't be lowering taxes based off of it.
Any more? Okay, the public hearing on electric vehicle charging stations is closed at 6:25. The public hearing for the Astorel dog restrictions is opened at 6:25. Anyone wishing to speak on this will be heard. Just a quick reminder, this is not about a dog park. This is simply about changing, putting back with some modifications, legislation that was on the books in 2020, I think.
Yes.
Dogs are prohibited on baseball fields at Pastoral Park from April 1st to October 31st. Dogs are permitted in other areas of the park as long as they are restrained by a leash not exceeding 10 feet in length, are licensed by the town, and under control of the handler at all. Anyone wishing to be heard on that? Public hearing closed at 6:27. And we will move on to call to order the regular meeting of the Round Lake Village Board of Trustees is called to order. Please rise for the pledge.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And we will start with public comment. We will move on to the superintendent's report, which I have here. Christmas tree lights were done. Quite successful. They approved the rest all trucks for winter and changed plow blades. The one-ton dump trucks. Shop maintenance, cleaning. They had a jet cut drain at Washington Ave and the Zim Smith Trail, cleaned up flow area of the pipe and creek also. cleared all debris out of the creek from Washington Ave to Griffin Bridge Access Road. Regraded parking area at Triangle Park, remove rocks at the intersection of Lake and Tech Ave. And moving on to the treasurer and the abstract approval.
Can I ask a question?
Nope.
Um,
At the end, then, public comment section.
thank you.
The following actions are proposed for board approval. Transfer of funds from reserve for repairs. Fund increase required for expenditure due to pump house repair of fan. This fan's operation has increased NICEAG bill approximately threefold. Has caused budget variance, increase F 8320, source power supply pumping contractual 5,000. And decrease F 8820, reserve for repairs 5,000. Transfer funds for funding of CHS, which are CPAs. Funds will be transferred from 9120 unrestricted fund balance to A 1320. Act 4, auditor contractual for additional funding. Preparing the village AFR. Increase 1320 TAC 4, auditor contractual 3,000, decrease 89120, unrestricted fund balance 3,000. Transfer funds from unrestricted fund balance to parks contractual. Funds will be transferred from 9120 unrestricted fund balance to A 7110 TAC 4, park contractual for additional funding required due to increased NICEAG bills. Increase 7110 for parks contractual 3,000 and decrease 9120, 89,120 unrestricted fund balance 3,000. That's a mistake, that first line, so ignore that. Abstract claims, the treasurer is providing December abstract for approval.
Let's do that separately.
What's that?
We'll do that separately after we do the transfer.
Oh, okay.
I'll make a motion, we approve items 1, 2, and 3, as noted by the treasurer.
Second.
Second?
Yes, so the pump house repair of fan, so it was totally non-functional and now we're
Right.
getting the electricity bill on it because it's.
When I was looking at the bills and I noticed the increase, I talked to John Schaff and John Stevenson, and they said that that fan had not been operational. And they fixed it, and then seemed like that coincided with the bills skyrocketing.
So how much did the bill skyrocket? And what
It went
type
from
of
like
fan?
400 to 500 to 1,200 to 1,300 a month.
Well, it seems like a huge increase because a fan, I don't care how, unless it's a giant industrial fan, it shouldn't cause the electricity to increase that much.
We didn't, I asked them about it because I was concerned if something else was going on.
To me, it sounds like there's some sort of other electrical issue. To have a twofold hour increase. That seems like a lot.
Yeah,
It seems like something is running,
I pictured like a huge industrial fan.
even a huge industrial fan, the very large fans. I could do the math if I had enough time, but they're not gonna draw $500 worth of electricity.
Okay.
Something wrong.
can we
Yeah,
get
probably.
DPW to look into, because that's definitely a huge anomaly.
What we actually might be worth doing is get an IR camera and do some investigation on pumps and motors. What it sounds like to me is that there's a large failing motor in the pump house that is causing the pumps to scream at an extra large
Yeah,
ampacity.
Okay.
If there was pumps that had bearings that are starting to go bad, they're gonna draw more power, they're also gonna produce more heat. And that's what's gonna send the power bill skyrocketing.
yeah, we need to.
So does the DPW have the skills or the equipment to do that, or do we, somebody from the outside?
We will find out.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we need to look at it,
Yeah,
that's a
yeah,
big, that's a
Okay,
big.
you summarize that in an email, something. Not now, but.
So this, and just another question, the. The bill that we get from NICEAG is specifically, that's just a line item to the pump house, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
all right, and then so the second question just also goes into the third part, which is NICEAG bills, obviously electricity gone way up, so understand that, so this $3,000. Transfer is to cover
I'm trying
The
to,
estimated budget for the rest of the year?
Correct.
Okay, got it.
that's what I'm trying to get to.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, I have no further comments.
Okay,
Yes.
Matt?
Yes.
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 Emily, first one. So next, the abstract claim.
The treasurer has provided December abstract for approval, which includes November prepaid invoices and December claims. The total for the December abstract is 63,185.72 to be approved per fund as follows. A fund, $58,163.10. F fund, $4,364. And G fund, $658.60.
So moved. Second.
Discussion?
Yes.
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 Yes. Next, the chief.
For November, we had 41 alarms, brings the year-to-date total to 538 alarms. For the month of November, 431 staff hours, just over 5,000 for the year-to-date alarm staff hours. And factoring in training and drills, brings our total staff hours to just under 11,000 for the end of November. And also this Saturday's Santa Express, it will be some escorting Santa throughout the district. The routes and preliminary schedule of folks are sports study.
Thank you.
My kids are very excited.
Code enforcement.
Well, I have about 25 projects with open building permits. Three of the major, I think, major ones are getting done. The house on Lake Avenue was just completed. Another house on Lake Avenue will be done in a month or two. And the house on Saratoga Avenue, these are all gut rehabs. That should be done in a month. They're all finishing up. Some of the other houses, they just go on forever, you know, it's renovation can take a long time. One of the things about the electric bill, there's major work going on at the cell tower. All new equipment going in up there, new generators, all new equipment going up on the tower. I don't know if that would increase, you know, the load or not. You just be aware of the fact. They're doing a lot of replacement up there.
Does that pump house bill cover the electricity to run the cell tower?
I don't know where they're plugged
Yeah,
in.
we'll have to check that out.
Because if that's the case, that's very well where that increase came from. If they are adding additional towers or whatever, different stuff that draws more power, that could be where
Yeah,
the
yeah,
twofold electricity came from.
Yeah, are they still working up there?
a lot of it they haven't started. They just finished with another generator up there. They put another diesel generator up there. But they're gonna redo the whole tower.
I feel like they probably have their own meter though.
I don't know.
Oh, we-
No, I have to look.
Like that.
I'll check into it. I'll check it out. That's it.
Okay, and parking enforcement and animal control.
Oh, there's no animal control calls, but parking enforcement is about nothing right now, except I'm waiting for it to get busy on Route 9 again. With the ice on the lake.
Thank you. Auditorium. David, Susan, did David? Report?
He said he was gonna be here.
All right, AP3.
We pretty much wrapped it up for the year. We postponed our December meeting because everybody's just seems to be a little crazy right now. We have 2 teachers on the board, so. Our next meeting, we're actually going to combine our January meeting with our annual meeting. That will be held on the 16th, which is a Friday.
Who is on the AP board? I've lost track.
We have Dan Pesca. We have Melanie Booth. We'll have, Lauren, which is secretary. Brian Guinieri, who's the treasurer. And John Fuller. And then we have ex officio would be, David Straight, and then our new ex officio. We're definitely gonna welcome with open arms Jason Miller. He'll be taking over Heritage, who's the party.
Nice, congratulations.
So, we'll be coming up with some great ideas for January. I will tell you that I do have a date for the next year's fundraiser. It would be on the 19th of September, which is a Saturday. So, we'll get going on that. I've already reached out to Brooks Barbecue. I think we're gonna do, Brooks this year instead of food truck. That's so. But we'll figure out a vegetarian option. I don't know if they talk about that, but I'm just actually talking to them. I got the placard that we were working on for Prospect Park. I got the mock-up for that, so 60% mock-up of it, and kind of showed it real quickly to Gary and Sue in the office, brought it home, and it needs editing. So I'll present that in January. That's obviously, we won't be working on that in the spring time. But yeah, it looks pretty nice, and we're gonna actually combine that. I think I've talked to the village board before about maybe with the tree committee and Stu on making some signs all around the village, kind of mark where those parks are. This will be a placard that just kind of shows, what was there at the time. So, other than that, I think that's pretty much it.
Thank you. Work.
Oh, I'm sorry. 2026 calendar. If anybody wants a 2026 calendar, I'm gonna be here tomorrow before the Willis meeting. And I'll have I'll probably try to be here for the weekend. So people can show up, the ones that can't make it during the regular hours. Sue also has them available in the office. But I'll try to get here a couple of evening times so people can do. When they get out of work, we can go over and grab them for $20. I ordered less this year because I got stuck with 20 last year, so they're gonna sell out. So they're real nice too. Okay, I'm sorry.
In addition to the calendars, we also have T-shirts, ornaments, and lanterns that are also for sale. And they can be, if they're all in the village office and stuff, and you can open and we get paid. Other things, want to make sure that we can meet you in case of be able to reach you in case of an emergency. Do we have your email? Do we have phone numbers, that kind of stuff? It's that time of year. And we're asking that you are planning on going out of town to please park your cars either on your property or have a neighbor or a friend have your keys. Somehow they're going to be able to move it because we do have a 24-hour towing service on call. We don't really want to use it, but we have to use it. Water and sewer bills are out. Yeah, we'll look out for them, and they're due on the end of December. The post office is just asking everybody to pick up their mail. They know they have packages and stuff, all that stuff. Hang out there, and also empty the mailboxes. Don't take what you want and leave stuff there because it just makes it hard for them to sort the mail. And then they wanted me to remind people that there are procedures in place to protect individuals' privacy, and handing mail over the counter is not allowed without very specific application procedures. So if you're helping somebody out and picking up their mail, ask them for their combination and use it. Thank you.
Thank you. Tree committee?
Yes.
Yeah, she's doing.
It's very short. The wildflower seed was purchased and will be spread next month at the Barnum Pocket Park. Mark engaged with Saratoga Associates to execute the DEC grant. And I was gonna tell you which kind of seeds that we purchased. One was clay resistant, Another one is, I think for pollinators, and they're one that may be for birds. So, yeah, and they grow in different, heights. It's short and showy for the close to the road, and clay buster for the remaining areas. That's the names of the seed. That's all I have.
Okay, thank you. I think we're going to do the new business first and then go on to the organizational meeting. We have a few items to discuss first. Under new business, I'm offering a motion to adopt local law 6 of the year 2025 to amend chapter 168 of vehicle and traffic law to establish article 7, electric vehicle charging stations, which article provides for the siting of electric vehicle charging stations and authorizing the village board of trustees to establish regulations regarding such stations. You want to have a second? Matt?
Yeah.
Any discussion?
This, you said 6, local law 6.
Yeah.
Is it 5?
It's 5,
Local law 5.
Okay.
yes, I'm sorry.
Okay, local law 5.
Did it based on the, when we looked at the publication.
Thank you. Okay,
Yes. Yes.
okay,
Yes.
I mean. Yes. And offering a motion to adopt local law number 6 of 2025 to amend chapter 83 -3 B, which states dogs are prohibited on baseball fields at Pasquarello Park from June 1st until October 31st. Dogs are permitted in other areas of the park as long as they are restrained by a leash not exceeding 10 feet in length, are licensed by the town, Malta, and under control of the handler at all times.
Second.
Discussion? Jonathan?
Yes. Oh, wait, Jason.
I do have one question.
Okay,
On that local law where it says town of Malta, didn't we have to make that just licensed? Holding a license,
properly licensed?
properly licensed, because dogs,
You're right.
it's a public space.
That change was made to the local law form today,
Right.
that's on the multi, good.
Okay.
So that's already been made, we're good.
Oh, that was the.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know
It was,
the online version.
Right, so licensed, properly licensed, and under control of handler at all times. Right. Okay, thank you. Peter's the question.
Is it June 1st? Little League starts in
April.
May.
It's
Oh,
not.
April 1st, okay.
Hold on a second.
Another thing, that's coming on.
Yeah.
sorry, the actual local law has got those two.
Yeah.
Printed correctly.
I cut the page with the wrong. Right. April 1st to October 31st.
Closer to the first, local law number 6, and it's making sure that the dogs are licensed.
Just seeing if you read the stuff I sent out.
Another question.
Last question, sorry. Why did we know?
He did because he's a code enforcement, yes, so.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. All right, moving on to appointment of fire department officers. One of these effective in January or immediately or
Monday at 7 p.m. Just.
of January? First Monday of January?
Yes.
That's the fifth.
So have you want.
Okay, the board of trustees of the village of Round Lake hereby appoints the following officers for the Round Lake Volunteer Fire Department effective January 5th, 2026. Chief Ed Cameron, First Assistant Chief Sean Flynn, and Second Assistant Chief Kevin Sison. Right, second.
Second.
Discussion? Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
Emily? Yes, congratulations, chief. The last of the new business, second to the last of the new business is adopt Saratoga County Hazard Mitigation Plan. And offering a resolution, the Village of Round Lake adopting the Saratoga County Hazard Mitigation Action Plan Update 2025. Whereas the Village of Round Lake recognizes the threat that natural hazards pose to people and property within the Village of Round Lake. And whereas the County of Saratoga has prepared a multi-hazard mitigation plan, hereby known as the Saratoga County Hazard Mitigation Plan, updated 2025 in accordance with the Disaster Mitigation Act of 2000. And whereas the Saratoga County Hazard Mitigation Action Plan Update 2025 identifies mitigation goals and actions to reduce or eliminate long-term risk for people and property in the Village of Round Lake from the impacts of future hazards and disasters. And whereas adoption by the village demonstrates its commitment to hazard mitigation and achieving the goals outlined in this Saratoga County Hazard Mitigation Action Plan Update 2025. Now therefore be it resolved by the Village of Round Lake, New York, that Section 1, the Village Board hereby adopts the Saratoga County Hazard Mitigation Action Plan Update 2025. This plan approved by the community may be edited or amended after the submission for review, but will not require the community to re-adopt any further iterations. The provision applies only to this specific plan and does not absolve the community from updating the plan in 5 years. Do you want to have a second? After seconds, discussion?
I asked to delay it for a month because I didn't read it. I can see it.
Last one.
That was last month, yeah. But I did say it's got good demographics. I don't know if you've read it, but on the village, it's also a great government document. High on promise and very short on how you can pay for it.
Yes.
See the whole document about that. We're just going to do so there.
Yeah.
Sorry, I can't remember how long it goes for the plan.
5 years.
Okay, so it's just the same time.
Yes.
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 Yes. And approval of minutes of November 19th, 2025. Was it on order? Is that
Yeah,
correct?
I was not here.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. This one?
Yes.
There were two slight corrections made. One of them was the public hearing was published for 6:25. It was printed in the minutes for 6:35. So that corrections made, and then the resolution for the mitigation showed up in these minutes, and so they've been eliminated and moved to vote this.
I'll move, we adopt the minutes with the corrections.
Second?
Jay seconds, discussion?
Yes.
Abstain.
Oh, sorry. There,
Yes.
Emily?
Abstain.
Yes. All right, now we can move on to the organizational meeting.
Good day. Fine.
That should- Right, so you put that. The mayor hereby appoints, the following are appointed for terms of 1 year. Susan Wallen, clerk, Greg Saudi, treasurer, Thomas Peterson, village attorney, Joanne McDonough, health officer, David Straight, auditorium director. The following are appointed to the terms set forth after their names in the tables below. Brett Severs, planning board, Ben Rotundi, planning board alternate. Jake Ingram, ZBA, Maya McDonough, ZBA. And those terms are Brett Severs' term will expire 2031. Ben Rotundi's will expire 2031. Seems like a long time. Jake Ingram was a replacement for Lori Naranj, so his will expire in 2027. Mine McDonough, I believe, is 2031 as well. You want to have a second? Matt seconds discussion.
Yes.
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 Yes. Assignments of the Board of Trustees, Trustee Colbert, Deputy Mayor, Trustee Miller, Auditorium Liaison, Trustee Galloway, Service Award Program, LoSAP, and I'll explain that to you. Trustee Bergen, ED and DDA Liaison.
Second.
Okay, motion to accept the assignments, be it resolved that the village board village board, Round Lake approves Mayor Putnam's appointments as noted above. Second, discussion. Yes, Matt,
Yes.
Jay,
Yes.
Emily?
Yes.
Meetings. Be it resolved by the Round Lake Board of Trustees that the regular meeting of the Round Lake Village Board of Trustees will be held on the third Wednesday of each month, starting with public comments at 6:30 p.m. Be it resolved by the Round Lake Board of Trustees that the workshop meeting of the Round Lake Village Board of Trustees will be held on the first Wednesday of each month at 6:30 p.m. as needed. Be it also resolved that when a special or emergency meeting of the Village Board of Trustees is necessary, the village clerk would be required to contact each member individually by phone, in person, or by email if receipt is confirmed to schedule the meeting. Be it further resolved that the next organizational meeting will be held on Wednesday, December 16th, 2026 at 6:30 p.m.
Second.
Discussion? Tom?
Yes.
Matt?
Yes.
Jay?
Yes.
Emily?
Yes.
Yes. Designation of official newspaper, be it resolved that the official village newspaper shall be the Daily Gazette.
Second.
Discussion?
Yes.
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 Yes. Authorization for prepayment of bills. Whereas the Round Lake Board of Trustees has determined to authorize payments in advance of audited claims for public utility service, postage, freight express charges, debt service payments, and contractual expenses, whereas all such claims must be presented at the next regular meeting of the village board for audit. And whereas the claimant, the officer incurring or approving the claim are jointly and severally liable for any amount the Board of Trustees disallows. Now therefore be it resolved, section 1, that the Board of Trustees also authorizes payment in the advance of audited claims for public utility service, postage, freight, express charge, debt service, and contractual expenses. All such claims must be presented at the next regular meeting for audit and claimant, and the officer incurring or approving the claim are jointly and severally liable for any amount the Board of Trustees disallows. Section 2, this resolution is effective immediately.
Second.
Discussion? Yes. Matt?
Yes.
Jason?
Yes.
Emily?
Yes.
Yes. Mileage reimbursement. There it is. Whereas the Round Lake Board of Trustees has determined to pay a fixed rate for mileage as reimbursement to village officers and employees who use their personal automobiles while performing their official village duties. Now therefore be it resolved, section 1, that the Round Lake Board of Trustees will approve reimbursements to such officer and employees at the rate of 70 cents per mile for 26, the same as IRS standard rate. Section 2, that this resolution is effective immediately.
Second.
Discussion?
Yeah, just real quick, I don't think that the rate has been officially set yet, I'm not sure. I think it's still 2025, so. Numbers, but
I thought I read it as 25%.
yeah,
How about at the standard IRS rate?
yes, yeah. They usually announce the rate right about now, but they haven't announced it yet.
Okay, so it reads that the Round Lake Board of Trustees will approve reimbursement for such officer and employees at the IRS standard rate.
For 2026.
For 2026. Section 2, that this resolution is effective immediately. Okay.
Tom seconded
Oh,
that,
so I said, sorry, yes, yes.
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 Yes. Designation of depositories. Whereas the Round Lake Board of Trustees has determined the village law section 4-41232 requires the designation of bank or trustee companies for deposit of all village money. Now therefore be it resolved that the Board of Trustees designates the following institutions as depositories of all money received by the village clerk, receiver of taxes and credit. The Adirondack Trust Company, 473 Broadway, Saratoga Springs, New York, 12866. Section 2, this resolution is effective immediately.
Second,
Discussion? Tom?
Yes. Yes.
yes.
Yes.
Yes. 8, authorization for attendance of training and conferences. Whereas there is to be, whereas there's to be held during the coming official year, certain meetings, conferences, and training schools. Whereas attendance by certain municipal officials and employees at one or more of these meetings, conferences, or schools benefits the municipality. Now therefore be it resolved, section 1, that the officers and employees are authorized to attend any and all meetings, conferences, or schools as approved by the mayor and board of trustees. Section 2, this resolution is effective immediately. Second. Discussion?
So when we say official, that includes the board, the trustee.
Yeah.
And those, okay.
Yes.
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 Village attorney workday, be it resolved that the village board of Round Lake location code 40453 established an 8-hour workday for the village attorney appointed and will report his record of activities to the New York State and local retirement system.
Second.
Discussion? Yes.
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 Yes. Adoption of policy, be it resolved that the village board of trustees will continue to follow all existing policies until such time when the village board reviews and amends them.
Second.
Discussion?
You know, rather than, we got a little bit of discussion on it, but maybe if we could knock off one per meeting or something.
Yeah, 1 to 2, depending on the length of
Yeah,
the
like,
policy.
a
Yeah,
couple of them are very simple.
yeah, agree.
It starts with, I know some of you have sent me some info already, so if you have something you'd like to address in January, so just get that info to me and we'll start with those. All right, perfect. That was discussion, we hadn't voted yet, have we?
No.
Okay, no,
Yes.
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 yes. That's it. We don't need an executive session, that's correct.
Right.
And public comment followed by adjourning the meeting. So public comment, is somebody, anyone back here? Oh, yeah.
I just wanted to say that with the dog thing effective, I spent a lot of time in the summer with my dog and met some of the local villagers and playing with the dogs. It was great. So I think it'd be wonderful to try and establish a dog park.
How do we have someone to lead that charge?
So I'm working on a committee, official committee, to get a dog park established by April.
I got some names I'll be forwarding to you.
So if anyone wants to volunteer to help out, and I do have an idea, I've been doing a lot of exploring the village. Relatively new to it, so people might have other ideas of where, but I came up with one, I think, ideal spot. Over by Paul Fields on the east side. So, yeah, that's that, so any interest, please get in touch.
Has anybody given any thought to what the penalty phase is gonna be from April 1st? Until the end of the year for,
I think it is mentioned in
I
there.
think it's we amended one part of that chapter, but I think at the end of the chapter, it stipulates penalties.
Violations for-
Yeah, for all of,
in
all,
order to write a violation for it, you're gonna need a specific set of rules.
I want to say it's like 2, Tom, you got
You'll have to
it.
work out. Yeah,
$250.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was.
yeah, that's
We
okay.
need to take measures.
Yeah.
And-
That's
Well,
what I
you guys, that's opinion. In order to write it, it's gonna have the same clause in it that I have.
That's nice.
Tickets.
Well, let's take a look at our,
I don't blame you.
saves the animal control, take a look at
Yeah, because I don't have any.
it.
The judge is gonna be throw it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. What prompted the removing dogs from April first? Was there a situation that prompted that?
A couple of things. One is we are looking at entering into a contract with a local sports to, use the large ball field, and they plan on putting substantial money into upgrading it to make it usable. And, the Little League, the folks who run the malls around like Little League have been pretty adamant about complaints about people letting dogs run loose while kids are there, and I've got it, by myself, because I use it with my dog.
So that's why the dog park would be great, because the solve problems of both things.
I just didn't know if there had been
Yeah, so if your kids playing little league, if you
Someone's
want to
been
play
hurt.
little league, and get dog shit on.
Oh, I know someone's been bit or something.
No, the big-
Trying to get ahead of that part.
Yeah.
Too often we wait until something happens to
We're
do
being
something
proactive.
for once.
Yes.
Since David's here, can we hear the auditorium report?
Oh, okay.
I'm covered in things, but I'm here. The big news is that Global Foundries gave us $4,500 when we applied for the grant money, so the intent is to use it. I submitted it for the main doors here on the west side. So they would like to see how we use the money, and we can take some photos when that money is used. But we should be receiving that in the next couple of weeks, so we'll get it in the mail.
So David, have we talked to anybody about the actual replacement of the van, or? we're not there yet?
I think we applied for 8,000 and they gave us 45, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, which I think last year, I think they gave us 5.
It's always right around that number.
Yeah.
The most they've ever was, 1 year was 11,000, so that's why we kind of think 8 is kind of between them, but. Yeah, so I think we could probably expect around $5,000 from them every year. As long as we have in line.
We'll have to kick it more, because those doors.
Yeah, that'll be much more than that.
Yeah, I'm saying,
Yeah, it's probably the price of just one physical door.
Yeah, that's why 8,000 would have been nice, but at least it's started, so. And then the only other thing is, if we could approve the contract for Carpe Diem's May term. And then I'll still work on drafting up a July contract, but
do we usually approve those contracts, or we leave it through the director?
I think with Carpe Diem, we do approve the contracts separately every year. And then this year, because they have a main performance, it requires a secondary contract, so yes, we usually do.
That's this.
I'm open to changing that, but that's traditionally what we've done.
They do span 2 years, 2 fiscal years.
Yeah. Do we have a copy of the main contract? Yeah, I forget, we received that.
Gary and I have emailed back and forth about it.
We can do that at the next meeting though, right? Or is it
Yeah,
time sensitive?
I think they just need like a ballpark. And
Sense of the board, maybe. I don't see a problem with it.
I don't have a problem with it, them doing it, I just don't know I don't recall the fee structure and everything else.
so I did it by, I mean, I could tell you it and then I could email the actual contract, but it's per use.
Okay,
So whatever.
it's in line with what our normal.
Yeah, July 1 was,
Okay.
and then Brady is the directors, Brady and Bandy are open to discussing. For the July one, doing some sort of a profit split.
Yeah,
It's hard for them to do like a ticket split with us, because they usually don't make much profit, like their big expense is paying staff. That actually runs the camp and the performances. So, but Brady was open to like, let's say this year they just make a ton of money. That goes over, he was open to a discussion about what profit sharing could look like.
My suggestion was to add like a tip or $1 or something like that onto the ticket charge. They usually charge like $15 per performance or something like that. And
Yeah.
maybe we add the option of $1 or $2 onto the ticket.
That would be.
Then go to the auditorium, and that way they can keep their amount of money separate.
Yeah, and I actually have a bunch of things on the auditorium with some of the policies that I reviewed.
Okay.
That I think we should look at some fee structures for various different items. In regards to that, because it seems like we literally give everything away to every single person that comes in there.
Yeah.
And I think we really need to take a really long, hard look at. We always ask for volunteers to drive the golf carts. It wouldn't be hard to add an extra $1 onto these ticket sales to pay somebody to operate that golf cart, to pay somebody to sit behind that, behind the pizza counter.
Yeah.
That wouldn't raise the ticket prices that much. It might raise it a quarter. It might raise it 50 cents. But I think we should look at some of that stuff. Because I know volunteers is hard to come by sometimes, but if you were able to pay somebody for 2 hours of their time, they get $30.
And they have like pay what you will concessions, which I think is nice, but maybe
Yeah.
there's some ways we can more formalize that. And I think there's other ways to partner with that. That doesn't necessarily mean we're gonna take a cut of your $15 now, so.
I think that's a better, because I really don't know how we would outline a profit sharing.
Yeah, I think versus the percentage, I think if we just add some sort of a surcharge on their tickets, see if they would be amenable to it, and if their ticket system allows for even like a tipping. Type feature, but if not, then just add $1, $2 surcharge.
Yeah, because I hear what you're saying, because people want to donate to the.
They do.
And I just don't think we've given them a good way to
Yeah,
donate.
exactly. The more ways you put it out there, the more people will give, so.
Yeah, cool.
Thanks.
So yeah, I'll send out a copy of that contract and then we can do an official approval of it for January.
I'd like to comment on Jamerson's comment. The golf cart is always available to get the people to the auditorium, but then when it's time to go home, there's nobody around. Golf cart or operator, so
And
they're left in the dark to walk.
so that would be, if we were paying somebody to do that position,
That would be
they
taken care
would
of.
be there, taken care of. And I just think it's a more professional thing to do is instead for a village. My opinion has been for a village to constantly ask for volunteers to do physical work for a profit company coming in there. To me, that doesn't sit well.
Right.
To me, that company that's coming in there to make a profit.
They're technically not for profit, but I know what you're saying.
No, not Carpe Diem, but some of the
Oh,
other
okay, gotcha.
performances, just as a whole, as the alternative as a whole.
I don't disagree.
We should really be paying people. Like when the orchestra comes in, they're making money off of the performance. That we shouldn't be having to supply them volunteers. There should be a fee structure where they pay the shuttle driver X amount of money. And same thing with like whoever's sitting up front, running concession stand or collecting tickets or whatever is needed for that event. A cleaner, whatever, we have line items in their contract for that, covering those expenses. On their rental, and I don't think anybody's gonna shy away from it, or I don't think it's gonna increase ticket prices exponentially.
Yeah, I think, what you're saying is we can be more professional with our contracts, so we have a more professional experience for people.
Yeah, and not only is it gonna be better for the people who go to the auditorium to the events, like. Bob was saying, there's no shuttle driver to bring them back to the ball field in the dark. That person's going to be there, they're gonna be attentive, they're gonna be professional, and also. It just is more smooth transition on everything.
I guess the only other thing is Susan and I were talking on the phone about when the stage extension is up, we should it changes the capacity of the building. So I think we just need to come up with a number.
And that's something else in the policy that I've noticed is our policy is very vague on capacity. It states this number of seats, but there is no hard pressed capacity for the building. And I think we need to establish an actual hard capacity number for the building. And yes, I second that, have it a two-step capacity, stage extension versus non-stage extension. And that's gonna be the same thing for like the Carpe Diem stage extension, that greatly changes the capacity level of the auditorium. If it's say 400 people with the standard stage extension, maybe it has to drop down to 300 with Carpe Diem stage extension.
All right, we're getting into policy changes here.
I like the little, freedom. It's good.
Yeah.
Little taster.
So you're the Lizette liaison? Great. So I think Jason and I will do it. And we can keep it.
Alrighty, anyone else?
This probably doesn't have anything to do with anything, but just when talking about the electricity spike, did the village get the new smart meters as well?
Yeah.
Because there has been mention that people's new meters, their bills are going up, so.
I know it's always coming up.
Yeah. It's actually fair, apples to apples.
Well, we're gonna invest in.
I again, just.
Yeah.
Like a couple $100 for a bike, right? Like, yeah.
Some people are reporting that, you know.
Yeah.
I monitor all the bills, which is like 15 or 20 of them, and they're all pretty consistent except for the couple that I mentioned, they're still within that average, certain average.
Anything else? Emily, would you like to make your first motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second? Second, Tom, second, the second?
Technically, I don't think you need a second.
I don't think you need a second.
It's done.
All right, so you got.
I hope I know. It's a lot of kids.
Got the door there, Tom? Tom? You have that door?
Get home for Jeopardy on the organizational meeting, that is incredible. I can't remember the last time that's happened. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, but we got through the public hearings.
Yeah.
All right, good night, y'all.
Okay, see you guys.
There's a lot of ways to make.